Morning Australia, Lyndall Rogers here from I98 with some breaking news. Nudgee Man has won the Queenslander of the Year award for the 5th year in a row.
No need to panic. That southeasterly wind you can feel is Nudgee Man making his way home. It's not a tropical cyclone.
And number one on Luzzie's top 10 TikToks, the Nudgee Man Shuffle.
The real identity of Nudgee Man continues to fascinate the public, with celebrities joining the search for the face behind the N.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, Nudgee Man can really be anyone.
Look, it can be anyone, really.
I think it's Hemsworth. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
So, what does it take to be a Nudgee Man?
Well, first you need to learn to be selfless, to care for those who have fallen, to watch over not only your friends, but anyone who needs your support, regardless of how inconvenient it might be. To impart your experience and wisdom even if it means using your secret power of calculation, or just a calculator. To strive in everything you do, lending a helping hand to everyone. You see, you've always been a Nudgee Man ever since you were little. You just didn't know it. You needed to find your way to us, to prepare for your greatest adventure. But now it's time for the world to understand your power.
Like my power to travel back in time?
From Nudgee College comes a hero that has many faces and many names. A hero that keeps to himself, but fronts out when he is needed. An everyday hero that puts his school first, that has a sense of right and wrong, and a dislike for thieving crows. A role model who gives everything for his house and his fellow schoolmates. And although he may not be able to fly without a harness, he still likes to dream big. Work diligently, play hard, sing at the top of his voice, serve and protect, exceed his own expectations, and take on the world. Join us. We're waiting for you. Because in every boy, there is a Nudgee Man.
You have one new message.
It's me. Open day is over. Your school needs you. Get ready.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Week 6 Assembly. And what a massive day Saturday was. Those of us that were here for Open Day had a wonderful time, and we thank everyone involved in putting that huge day together. There are far too many people to list off here. Hundreds of you, in fact, were involved in that day. So please, can you put your hands together and thank everybody for a wonderful Open Day this year. This last full week in May across Australia, of course, we mark National Reconciliation Week, where we once again focus on our ongoing activity, not just for this week, but in the lives of every Australian, to try and bring the lives of all Australians closer together, particularly those of our first Australians, that their circumstance, their lives may be those that can flourish and be wholesome and well and good, and that we recognise the many justice and injustices that this country still really needs to negotiate before we can call ourselves one and free. So we'll mark National Reconciliation Week this morning with a prayer and a presentation to all of our houses from these students in our Liberating Education program. There are many other things on our agenda, as always, for a Tuesday assembly. But today, we won't start straight away with prayer. To mark the week, we will start with an acknowledgement of country from Morgan, and then Charlie will lead us in a National Reconciliation Week prayer.
Nudgee College acknowledges the Turrbal people, First Nations people, and part of the oldest living continuing culture in the world. They are the traditional custodians of these lands and waterways, which they call Nudgee and Nada, and we call Nudgee. We acknowledge their ancient customs and the law of the land. We pay our respects and acknowledge all ancestors, elders, and communities across the nation and neighbouring islands.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, open up our hearts so that we may hear the message you teach of, a world in which the wrongs of the past are recognised, a world in which a reconciled people walk and talk sharing stories, a world in which all burn with the desire to have your peace and justice reign. We ask this in Jesus' name. Live Jesus in our hearts. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Fulligar, staff, and men of Nudgee. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 26th of May, marks the beginning of National Reconciliation Week with National Sorry Day, a time significant for all Australians, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. National Reconciliation Week encourages us to learn about our shared histories, cultures, and achievements, and to explore how each of us can contribute to reconciliation in Australia. The theme for 2021 is that reconciliation is more than a word. It takes action. Therefore, the reconciliation movement aims for braver and more impactful efforts through community involvement.
As part of the National Reconciliation Week here at Nudgee in 2021, there are a number of activities available for all members of the Nudgee community to participate in. With the help of Miss Miller and the library staff, we will be creating a reconciliation wall to be displayed on the glass wall located at the front of the library. In order to fill this wall, we are going to need input from all members of the Nudgee College community. I invite and encourage all students and staff to have a think about what reconciliation means to you and how you might express this thought in a word, phrase, or drawing. Once you have this word, phrase, or drawing, please make your way to the library front desk and ask for a hand cutout to write on. These hands will then be put on our reconciliation wall at the end of the week to display a message of reconciliation.
Along with our reconciliation wall, the library held an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander themed Kahoot. There is a screening of rabbit-proof fence in the library today and tomorrow, and on Thursday and Friday, there will be Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander themed Lego competitions during lunch. Although also throughout the week, a number of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students will be visiting Our Lady of Angels Primary School to share in some Indigenous painting with their students.
To begin National Reconciliation Week with an action, we have a gift from the past and present Nudgee College Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students to the Nudgee College community. The 9 canvases below have been painted by the old boys of the college to share a small part of the Indigenous culture with the 9 day houses. I invite our Indigenous House representatives to present the canvases to the House prefects.
Can we show our appreciation, please, for our students, past students and current students, for that beautiful gift? Now, Chad, as the Vice Captain of Identity, is actually doing double service today, which is why I'm up here, just to break the momentum. You shouldn't always follow one voice with exactly the same voice. So to speak to us about the Walk for Edmund, our major mass participation fundraising activity for 2021, please welcome back Chad and Mrs. Kennedy.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, staff, support staff and students. It's me again. And I have some important questions to ask you. Have you ever been bored out of your mind at assembly and thought to yourself, would I rather this than my precious class time? Because I'm truly grateful for my education. Same. Oh, here's another one. Have you ever walked up to the tuck shop counter with your sausage roll and your boost juice, realizing that you don't have enough money left in the bank and that you should have saved that money for something actually beneficial to society? Well, the Edmund Rice Foundation Australia has a solution for your problems. As a charitable organisation, ERFA for short, works in communities that are socially and financially disadvantaged, supporting youth and families, including refugees and asylum seekers here in Australia. For countries which don't face the same first world problems as us, such as East Africa, Timor-Leste, India, Papua New Guinea, and Philippines, ERFA sustains their communities with education and lifelong learning opportunities. Our donations towards financial literacy programs and trades programs can affect the lives of those who lack what we take for granted. So, what better reason is there to save? Here's Mrs. Kennedy on how Nudgee is raising money.
Thanks, Chad, and I'd like to add my welcome to everybody here this morning. So, now we have the why, it's time to think about the how. As you can see on our previously prepared slide in front of me, we will be doing the Walk for Edmund on Friday, the 18th of June, which is the last day of this term. This year, we have a truly whole community event, with the years 11 and 12 also taking part, something which they have not been able to do in the past, and their excitement is palpable. So the how is a little different this year. I went into my local cafe for breakfast on Sunday and scanned the QR code before enjoying my delicious food. This is what we all expect. It's second nature to us now. So we've decided to bring Walk for Edmund right up to 2021 by using a QR code for donations instead of collecting money, though sadly there will be no yummy almond croissants at the end of it. So this is what we're going to do. Could we move on to, that's it, thank you. You will each be given a QR code card on Thursday, either during House Assembly or at the end of House Mass. I'd like to make a very big thank you and a welcome to Jason and his team at the Edmund Rice Foundation for all their hard work putting this process together for us, and welcome to Nudgee's College's Assembly, Jason. So you will scan the QR code, and the previous slide is where you will be taken. Perfect. Then you will click on Donate, and you'll go to the next page. Now, you should click at the top, which is a drop down for all the houses. I'll explain to you why this is important later. There are donations already there for you to contribute to. If you wish to add your own amount, you are more than welcome to do so. The donation quantities up there are not the same as ones that are going to be there when we release this live. You then go through the page, just like you would do at your local cafe, giving your details and the donation amount. And a receipt is automatically generated. Easy. Now, we're going to be doing a daily uptake of the tally. And this will appear on the first slide you reach after scanning the code. So on that previous slide, you will see each day a tally for the house and a total tally that will come at the bottom of the page. But there's more. Using our wonderful slide in front of me here, and a big thank you to Tommy Canellan for his fabulous artwork, you will find this sign somewhere on campus every single day. We will take a photograph of students holding the sign, and we will include the tally for the previous day in that photograph. So you will know exactly where we're at. And of course, our goal is to watch that tally growing each and every day. You may find that some people can't use the QR code for donating. Not everyone likes using this method or has the smartphone to make it happen. So here's an idea. Maybe they can give you the cash and you can make that donation on their behalf. See, I'll always find a way of getting that money. Now, I said to you it was important that you included your house. After this is all over, we will be having a special treat for the house which has donated the most money. So if you don't include the house, your donation will appear in the final tally, but not in the individual house tally. Now, in 2019, we raised more than $40,000, and we want to beat this. And this can only happen if each and every one of us gets behind this process and starts spreading the word and asking people to donate using their QR code. Please don't lose it. However, as I said, we'll always get that money. If you do lose it, please go to Nudgee.com and there will be a link to the Walk for Edmund page for you to use. There will be more information about this exciting whole school event over the coming weeks, both in daily notices and during assembly in week 8. But your job, as of Thursday, is to get those donations coming in, and together we really can spread lots of smiles. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kennedy. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, Mr. Johnson, fellow colleagues, parents and Nudgee gentlemen. This year, we're the proud host school of the Queensland DaVinci Decathlon, which is an academic competition originating from Knox Grammar School, designed to challenge and stimulate the minds of school students. Students will compete in teams of 8 across 10 different disciplines, including engineering, mathematics and chess, code breaking, art and poetry, science, English, ideation, creative producers, cartography and legacy. There is a particular emphasis on higher order thinking skills, problem solving and creativity. In order for students to succeed, they will rely heavily on the skills of the learning habits such as thinking flexibly, creating, imagining and innovating, and thinking interdependently. There are 56 team members representing St Joseph's Nudgee College from years 5 to 11 who will compete next week, along with 128 teams from 41 attending Queensland schools. We have incredibly strong team members who, like Leonardo da Vinci, have some of the greatest minds of Nudgee College. Students have been attending weekly training sessions to prepare for the challenging competition, and we wish them all the very best. I now invite Mr. Fulliger and Mr. Sepp to the stage to acknowledge and present our representatives with a badge. Unfortunately, there are a number of members who are absent today due to Year 5 camp, excursions and the Met North cross-country trials. However, we still acknowledge their achievement in being selected based on their excellent academic results. Please hold your applause until the end. From Year 5, who some members are currently absent on camp: Darcy Cotter, Max Geyer, Liam Mawson, who is absent, Flynn McDermott, Rahul Pagmanaban, who is absent. Scott Sibra, who is also absent. Oliver Watson, who is also absent, and Archie Woodward. From Year 6, who most unfortunately are absent on an excursion, however we still acknowledge them, Harper Cameron, James Carroll, Ethan Ferris, Ryan Catmy. Present today is Owen McGregor, James Newbecker, Daniel Simpson, Oliver Smith. Please congratulate the Year 5 and 6 students. From Year 7, Ethan Andrews, William Dallymore, Michael Donovan, who is absent, Andrew Emery, Matthew Fuller, Tom Cooley, Elfie Piper, who is absent, Baxter Witteveen, please congratulate the Year 7 students. From Year 8, we have Thomas Bayo, Dermot Clancy, Matthew Heath, Sejin Lee, Will Newbecker, Riley Nixon, Alex Smith, who is absent, Fergus Wright. Please congratulate the Year 8 team members. From Year 9, Liam Asprey, Kai Dewan, Benjamin Ditchburn, George Gillam, Fred Nash, Alex Patty, Oscar Rawati, Jamie Waddington. Please congratulate the Year 9 members. From Year 10, William Duffield, Aidan Easton, Jacob Gillam, Oliver Keel, Anthony Mineo, Patrick Townsend, Jack Weaver, and Joseph Wesh. Please join me in congratulating all of the Year 10 members. And finally, from Year 11, Elliot Brown, who is absent, Ben Gunter, Thomas Malone, who is also absent, Johnson Meriveka, Yash Rayani, Harry Rawati, Lachlan Russell, and lastly, Archie Wallace. Please join me in congratulating the Year 11 members. And finally, please join me in congratulating all team members on their selection. We wish them the very best for the competition on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of June. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, staff, parents, guests, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. The start of Term 2 brought our arts programs into full swing, with the continuation of many Term 1 activities and the start of a range of new ones. Debating has continued into the QDU competition, with our senior A team performing very well with their debate against girls' grammar in a couple of weeks to secure them a spot in the quarterfinals. The SEAM project sign-ups are currently on for any student that has a passion in creating and directing theatrical work alongside industry professionals. This opportunity is currently for boys in grades 9 to 12. It is a wonderful program, and you get to collaborate together and create performances around a playwright's work that has been commissioned by Queensland Theatre. A performance day will occur in Term 3, where you'll go to the Billy Brown studio and work alongside other high schools to present the outcomes in a professional theatre. If you are interested, please email Ms. Kilgore for further information. Our art department is currently running a Pets of Nudgee photography exhibition for display at Dimensions later this year. So email your best photo of your pet to pets@nudgee.qld.edu.au to have your pet featured. And the art club is currently back up and running on Wednesday afternoons in the Cleary block for all to join. Our music ensembles are all underway, being showcased on open day, one of our first chances for live music back from COVID. The choir is always looking for more participants, so if you like to sing, no matter your experience, come to the music block on a Tuesday morning at 7:30 to join. Remember, music, art and drama is for everyone. You don't have to be a Jacob Elordi or Shannon Gerard, you just have to want to give it a go. And finally, the college musical is near the end of rehearsals with 4 performances at the end of next week after countless hours of rehearsals throughout this year. I now ask you to welcome Matt Johns to the stage to perform Location by Khaled.
Send me your location, let's focus on communication, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. At times I wonder why I fool with you, but this is new to me, this is new to you. Initially, I didn't wanna fall for you, gather my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage, don't leave my heart damaged, to understand that things go a little bit better when you plan it. Oh, so won't you send me your location, let's focus on communication, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. I don't wanna fall in love off a subtweet, so let's get personal. I got a lot of cool spots that we can go. Tell me what's the move and I got you. I'm only acting like this 'cause I like you. Oh, just give me the vibe to slide then. Oh, I might make you mine by the night. So won't you send me your location, let's focus on communication, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I just need the time and place to come through. Ride, 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 right. Come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Right. Come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Send me your location. Let's focus on communication. I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location. Let's ride the vibrations, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt, and congratulations on a wonderful performance. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, parents, staff and gents. Last Thursday, our cross-country team travelled to Limestone Park in Ipswich for the 51st GPS Senior Cross Country Championships. It was the third of our GPS championships for the year, with the senior team competing for the Jack Ross Trophy, a name synonymous with Nudgee College and Nudgee Sport. Nudgee have won 4 cross-country championships. An event, Brisbane Grammar and Churchie have been very dominant across many of those 51 years. Our team was certainly determined to bounce back from the disappointment of last year's result, and they did a super job moving into 6th place in a very competitive event. We congratulate Brisbane State High, who recorded their 2nd win with a back-to-back championship winning performance. Our under-10 to under-12 team continued their dominance at the Junior Championships with an impressive 5-point win over Churchie and Gregory Terrace, who tied for 2nd place. There were many highlights across the day. Our 10 years team placed 1st, our 12 years team placed 1st, our 11 years team placed 3rd, and our 14s team placed 4th. We had a number of individual top 10 finishers. In the 10 years, Zach Zillman and Jacob Guthrie placed 4th and 5th. In the 11 years, Thomas Gibb placed 5th. In the 12 years, Rhys Griffiths, Michael Donovan and Oliver Stephen placed 3rd, 5th and 6th. In the 13 years, Oscar Irinkeji placed 2nd. And in the 14 years, Will Curran and Ned Curran placed 1st and 2nd. I'd also like to give a special mention to Declan Warnes for running up into the under-15 age group and finishing 14th, which certainly was significant in our under-15 team holding down 5th spot. Congratulations to all members of our cross-country team. You have trained hard and competed hard, and you've certainly represented your school with pride. So we thank you for that, and a big congratulations on the results. I would also like to acknowledge and thank Miss Tremberth for her wonderful efforts with our cross-country season. Her dedicated approach has provided both an enjoyable and competitive environment for our athletes to thrive and grow as young men. Please join me in congratulating Miss Tremberth. Thanks also to our head coach, Mr. Chris Gale, and coaches Mr. Masters, Mr. Gannon, Miss Minor and Mr. Johnston for your continued support and coaching expertise. I'd now invite Mr. Fulliger to the stage, please. And I'd ask one of our junior GPS cross-country captains, George Dart, to present Mr. Fulliger with the Junior GPS Shield. Just mention that co-captain with George is Rhys Griffiths, and he's at the Met North Championships this morning. This week I'd like to mention our first 4 tennis team, who had an impressive 6-2 win over top 3 team Gregory Terrace on Saturday. This was our first win over GT in 5 years. We won 3 out of the 4 singles and 3 out of the 4 doubles, a wonderful team performance. This week they take on an undefeated Brisbane Grammar team, who's sitting one win in front of us. We certainly wish Callum, Declan, Eamon and Ben all the best for Saturday, and I know if you had the opportunity to get over to the BGS courts on Saturday morning to watch, you'll see some wonderful tennis and a great team effort from our boys. Enjoy the week ahead.
Good morning, staff, parents, men of Nudgee. I want to talk about two simple concepts today. One is humility, the other is manners. Both are character traits we want each of you to have and display at all times around the college. Let's start with humility. My example of humility comes from someone you may not expect, Usain Bolt, the greatest sprinter of all time, an absolute legend of a person. 12 years ago, Usain Bolt made history in less than 10 seconds at the International Association of Athletics Federation's World Championships in Berlin, Germany. The Jamaican sprinter set the world record of 100 metres, clocking 9.58 seconds. Since then, no one, not even Bolt himself, has been able to better that time. Usain's times on the athletics track are not what I think of when his name comes up in conversation or in social media. Usain Bolt was a remarkable athlete, but also an exceptional character. If you look at take some time and look at some YouTube clips out there, you will see how generous he was with his time and his inclusive spirit, his humility. One example of this was before events. Literally minutes before competing on the world stage, Bolt would engage with people around him, and not in a condescending way. He cared. He would talk to volunteers. He would make them feel special. Hopefully now we'll see a short clip of something that he used to do.
Only man in history to double back and win the Olympic 100 and 200 double twice. He did it in Beijing.
And Tom, there are few athletes in the past 4 years.
He come back and like fist pounded me. You could see that I was like, do you want it? I said yes please, and as he gave it to me, all the crowd roared as well, which was good.
So what does it feel like to a young volunteer to have thousands of people cheer for you while speaking to one of the greatest sprinters of all time?
So just a short clip, you can see how Usain reacted. There is one thing and one thing alone that determines the type of person you truly are. That is how you treat people, all people. That starts by realising that we're all equal. Parents over this past weekend kept commenting on your behaviour, boys, how you treated people. It was exceptional. This was never more apparent in the grandstand after the first 11 match. To the supporters and players who were there, you behaved with humility under trying conditions. Well done. The second point is manners. And I did write about this in my latest article in the newsletter. So for the odd few who did read it, thank you, and sorry for the repetition. There's a great story about a coffee shop in Paris. Staff management had had enough of rude customers and decided to fight back. They did this by charging a whopping $10 for a cup of coffee. If customers said please, the cost was more affordable, $6.50. And the customers who ordered their cup with a cheery "good morning, coffee please," got the best deal, only paying $2.15. Now imagine if this was our rule in the canteen. I would like to think that all of you would be paying $2.15 for your coffee. And ironically, after some parents read my newsletter article, they were quite vocal in telling me that's how you do behave. So again, well done. There is compelling research now that suggests good manners are as vital as good grades at school. And they are vital when it comes to landing a job and getting ahead after school. So gentlemen, some do's. Do say please and thank you. This is face-to-face, on the phone or in emails. Do ask before borrowing things, whether it's just a pen or something from a friend. Just ask. Do hold doors open for people. Everyone appreciates and notices this. Do offer to help clean up and don't wait to be asked. You've heard me speak about this before. By cleaning up, it demonstrates you are aware of what is happening around you. Keep your desk, your locker, your bag, and dare I say your room, tidy and clean up after yourself. Being untidy suggests disorganisation and disrespect for the community. Do say hello when greeted by another person. Say hello with purpose and look them in the eyes. Some don'ts. Don't dress inappropriately. Let others see your skills, not your poor attire. Show pride in yourself, and for our purpose, show pride in your college. Don't interrupt. Teachers or classmates deserve a right to be heard. And don't engage in negative behaviour. Just a small example, gentlemen, when you're walking along the verandas, don't bounce basketballs. We want you to enjoy yourselves, we want you to use balls, but bouncing on those verandas is becoming very annoying for staff who teach in those areas. I would think that all of you, if you follow these simple rules, would not only help to maintain our high standards at Nudgee, but assist each of you as you move on into the workplace. Most mornings, many of you know, I walk or run through the school. There have been a number of boys recently who I've said good morning to, and I've been greeted by a grunt, or worse still, been ignored. I've taken to stopping, and to their surprise, and then insisting they engage in a pleasant early morning conversation. I'm sure they think I'm the crazy, bald old man who has nothing better to do and too much energy for that time of day. The lesson I hope they learn is good manners do cost nothing, and they do leave a lasting impression, gentlemen. So gents, as we leave today, try and be polite, show good manners, and most of all, be humble. Have a good week, boys.
Hi everyone, welcome to the boarding village, the heart of Nudgee College. What are you doing up there? Come on down. There's always something happening in this place, like the usual game of cricket on the village green, one of the best patches of artificial turf in the southern hemisphere. Look at all these vantage points, all 4 dorms overlooking the action. Quite a bit of noise coming from the Murphy stand.
Any moment, the players and boarders will break for tea and they never have to go too far for a decent snag or burger. One please, make it toasty. And now a time for reflection. Let us mourn the balls that have gone before us, forever lost in the bald funnel. How long had you known him?
Since the weekend.
We'll get through this together. And there's never a dull moment in your downtime. Our common rooms are like man caves, or should I say boy caves, where we have all the P's. Ping pong, pool, yeah, PlayStation, poker, and phones.
And speaking of phones, we like to lock them away overnight because life's busy here without distractions. Oh, dearie doctor. No. You sure that's the right way? Boarders love to eat. And here we have 3 staples outside of dining hours: Milo, noodles, and Cocoa Pops. You need to prepare it first. Something you don't see often. How many schools can claim to have their own open-air bathroom? Boys, music. It's fresh, breezy, and all the smelly stuff wafts away. Of course, here in boarding, we run a very tight ship. Every room is clean. Oh God, maybe not that one. Oh dearie doctor. And like I said, here in boarding, every room is spotless and clean. Normally, we're not allowed to use this door, but the chances of being caught is quite slim. Oh, sorry sir, I was just checking the hinges. They were looking quite good except for that one there, it's a bit rusty. See sir? Yeah. Each house has 3 senior staff. That was Mr. Cochran. He's normally not that grumpy, he's actually a cool bloke.
As well as our senior staff, each house has an amazing house mum. Ours is Tracy, and she likes to keep it real. And she gives amazing hugs. And when you get into Cotter, you get your own rooftop view where you can study, relax, and you have this amazing view of Science Room P35. Ah, the serenity. Oi! And I don't even need to mention our committed and lovely staff. They're always happy to see us. Hey, sir. So, we hope you enjoyed our little tour. Looks like the food is ready now. See you back here soon. The first sausage is on us.
Well done to all of those involved in that wonderful presentation about our boarding community. And also a good morning and a welcome to Mr. Fulliger, staff, parents, guests, and of course the members of the Nudgee community and our Nudgee gentlemen in front of us. My job this week is to go over the week ahead. And in terms of Nudgee calendars, it's not as busy as it has been, gentlemen. So you can see, hopefully soon, on the slide behind me, we've got musical rehearsals, a trip out to Gundawindi. Obviously, we know already our Year 5s are on camp. But gentlemen, there's never been a better time in week 6 of this term to really focus on our studies. Without as much distraction with major GPS competitions during the week, it is a busy time for everyone. Mr. Johnson spoke very clearly today about expectations around humility and manners. Nothing is more important in the classroom than you being conscious of that as we go into a time in the term where you're all under a lot more pressure with assessment, either due or coming up, draft feedback coming back in. And manners in the classroom is critical to making sure that every one of your fellow Nudgee brothers in a classroom is having the best chance of achieving academically. And that can only happen if it's a positive environment. Just wait for some of you. A positive environment where what you're doing in the classroom and how you're engaging with your teachers is not to the detriment of other people's learning. Gentlemen, we've heard a little bit this morning. We had a presentation to our houses earlier about Reconciliation Week. And my challenge to you is to continue to increase your own knowledge and understanding of what reconciliation means to you and to us as a community. And while we do certainly focus this week, deepening your understanding of this and your own capacity to recognise its significance should be a continuous journey for you beyond this week. If we move now to house assemblies for Thursday, if you could just pay attention to what your house is up to this week, and I'll remind you. Barrett House in the grandstand with Duggan over to Tracy 1.4. Fogarty, you're at Wilkes Oval, McGee in the Library Learning Centre, and McKenna to O'Neill Undercroft. Riley's in PC rooms, Ross is in the McHenry Centre, and Shaw and Tierney, a change for you. You are together in the chapel for house mass. Gentlemen, you've been wonderful this morning, but we're almost there, but we still need to be sitting respectfully. And I'd now like to invite Degan Beschenhard up to the stage for 3 cheers.
DaVinci Decathlon, good luck boys, go
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Could you please be seated, gentlemen? Now, gents, just to make this a bit easier, we know that Year 10s get to stay and stack the chairs for us, but we will be going in house groups today just to make it a little bit easier, so if you could wait for that direction. But first of all, I'd invite our parents to exit and any staff that need to go. Is that all? That's okay. Okay, Fogarty House, you can move off and we'll go. It's not an achievement, gentlemen, you just need to leave. Riley House, thanks. And we'll go Ross. Tierney, you can go out the back because you've made that decision anyway. What have I got? McKenna House, when you're ready. Barrett. And then